Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, from my favorite starting point for my videos right here at Brewer's Little Gasoline Station in Capitan, New Mexico, population 1,600. And gasoline here is $4.49 a gallon for regular unleaded. And diesel is whatever it is, I can't see it. But yeah, I went in to get my usual soda mix, which I get one every 2 or 3 days now. And guess what? They've gone up 20%. Dang. I mean, if you're going to go up, guys, go up. Don't fool around. So I'll have to come up with another solution for that. What I'll do is I'll go get me a, well, actually, I can make ice at home. And I can't make the good crunchy ice, but I'll get me those gallon jugs that they sell real cheap, and away we go. So having said that, what are we going to talk about this morning? Well, I'm going to tell you. For all you people that are looking for inexpensive housing options like I've been looking for some time, as most of you know, you've got, I mean, you've probably got a lot of choices, but I'm going to narrow it down to 3 that will work for me in the city limits of Capitan, New Mexico. Now, we'll also bear in mind that one option that you always have is do nothing. In other words, I could just stay in my Class C motorhome on that lot for 6 or 8 months a year, and I don't think anybody'd ever say a word, but that's the way that is. But I'm looking at other options. Why? Because I like to. I call it calculatus eliminatus. I'm trying to eliminate the things that will not work and end up with what will work fine for me. So, yesterday I finally got a call back from a manufactured home dealer. And they have a 14 by 56 2-bedroom 1-bath on a special sale. Of course, when you're dealing with manufactured home salespeople, trust me, if you think auto salespeople are sharks, these people are bigger sharks. I mean, they're the white shark or whatever you call it. And so anyway, talked to him at length, and he said, oh yeah, he said, we can get you one delivered, you know, for, well, after some negotiation. He said they could get it delivered and set up for $65,000, and that included the steps, you know, of course, no front deck or anything like that, no carport, of course, you know, just the 14 by 56 manufactured home was $65K. Okay, now you know that there's going to be additions to that, but he said that includes sales tax, setup, everything. Ha ha. Well, anyway, then he sends me an email, right? Because I said I want to see what this thing looks like, and I want to see what the roof is and all the stuff. I want to see all the specs and see how it's insulated, etc. They use 2x4s, not 2x6s, and but anyway, so I get the link. And along with the quote invoice, I guess you'd call it. Well, the link takes you to the floor plan. Well, that was really exciting. I got to see the floor plan. It was okay, but I didn't get to see how it looked like, what it looked like from the outside. But anyway, I'll work on that in a second. But then I got to looking at the specs. Well, there were several items that were lined out. You know, what he did was he took the price that I needed to get to, and he kind of worked down by deleting things from the manufactured home. Like he took out the refrigerator, he took out the air conditioner or the mini split, and some other things. And I thought, well, you dirty dog. I mean, you know, but that's, you know, so if you don't, you know, if you didn't look closely, you wouldn't have seen that. But you know me, I mean, I'm sitting there examining it with a microscope. And so anyway, the manufactured home deal for me is not really an option. Why? Well, the upfront cost to me is for a manufactured home, even though $65K is in the market now, no doubt, I don't know what it looks like, you know, one thing. And but anyway, it's too big. It's 580 square feet, and I don't need but half of that, okay? So why heat and cool all that extra space? So anyway, that pretty much eliminates the single wide manufactured home, basically a mobile home. And you know, of course, they're not that well insulated. Okay, enough said about that. and they, they can't build them really well because, they got to make a big profit. They got to keep these things going. Next step, okay, then I had talked to another builder about building my place and all that shit. Anyway, enough said. He's gonna bring the numbers by. You understand? How that goes. But a site-built home is a good option. Why? Well, because it's quality built. It's on a slab, and you just extend the roof line, and you got a carport, and then you can extend, well, not extend the roof line, but you can build a porch on it and all that stuff. So with a porch and a carport, using stucco, which is pretty well maintenance free for a long time, it came to around $60,000, okay? But here's the downside, and even the builder mentioned it. And right now, his concrete men are sick, and even when they're working, they can't find help. He was telling me all these things, and I'm listening with both ears, and I'm thinking, we're going to get off to a real good start here. They're going to come out here with a backhoe and move some dirt around and dig some trenches, and then there ain't going to be any concrete poured, and then it's going to rain. I'm not thinking negative, I'm just thinking realistically, but I'm thinking, this thing could drag on for 5 years, or what it is, they come out and stake their claim, dig up your property, and next thing you know, the concrete men or whoever it is can't find help, blah, 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 excuses go on and on and on. Well, they're not really excuses, they're facts. However, those facts do not get the home built. You got me? So, that is an iffy option. I call that an iffy option. Because the process, of course, the builder gets 15%. And so and I hate that. Why? Because it's a cost plus 15% job then. Well, what does that encourage the builder to do? Run the cost up, okay? All right, so I hate those cost plus jobs, I do. I'd rather have him just quote me a fixed price, and then he eats whatever has to be eaten, but you can't hardly get that done anymore. Why? Because building costs are going all over the board, and everybody knows it. So, the site-built home in Capitan, iffy at best. Now, another option, and I talked to the builder of those tiny homes that I've done a couple of videos on, and he's building a 10 by 10 right now, and that'll be ready in another month or two, and I'll look at it as they go and see if that might work. 200 square feet, I'm not sure if it will work, because to put a bathroom and a small kitchen in that doesn't leave you very much space, okay? And I would like to move up a little bit, you see. Then the next thing he told me, the builder of the tiny home said, look, well, when we finish this 10 by 20 that we're working on now, which will take another month or two, then we're going to start on another 10 by 24, and we're going to put it on axles. We're going to put it on wheels. And I said, well, if we can get that thing titled as a manufactured home, then I can put that on my lot in Capitan. If it's titled as an RV, I don't think I can do that. So we're going to try to get it titled as a manufactured home, I guess. But yeah, so that is pretty viable as an option, because then, of course, it comes with a front porch, and the total cost on it with the front porch is $25,000. It's a 10 by 24 on wheels, and I can add an Eagle carport, 12 by 20. Is that right? 12 by 20? I think it's 12 by 20 for $2,500 in that range. Okay, so we're looking at $27,500. Well, by the time everything's done, I'm sure it'll be $30K. But that's still basically half of the site-built home, and a little less than half of the single-wide mobile home. You got me? So what I'm doing is my usual mental exercise, calculatus eliminatus. If you want to find out where something is, first you got to find out where it ain't. And I'm always bearing in mind that doing nothing is always a real option. You see what I mean? Now, the good thing about the third option there, the tiny home, 10 by 24 with a front porch, is that is not a heavy load to carry. You understand? You got 30,000. That's less than the price of a decent used car. All right. So, and I'm going to the city on August 2nd, and I'm actually getting some more paperwork today together to add to my packet that will be presented to the Planning Commission, because I don't have what are called elevations. You know, they want to see the side view, front view, back view, and all that stuff of the house. Well, I don't have the house yet, you know, and there aren't any. He doesn't have any real plans over there. I mean, he's built them before, and he's got something scratched out on paper, and that's what he goes from. And so what I'm going to do is see if I can just say, look, it's a 10 by 24 box, and see how that goes. But yeah, so I'm going to go through the process with the Planning Commission, go ahead and get it approved for the tiny home 10 by 24, and yeah, and then maybe he said it. Well, so we're looking at 4 months before it would probably be ready. So we got, you know, July is gone basically. It's July the 20th right now. So we got August, September, October, November. So possibly by the end of November, I could have a tiny home in there just in time for the snowstorm. You know what I mean? You know. But as far as heating and cooling, the 10 by 24 tiny home, you know, it's going to be all electric, of course. And, you know, I'll get some space heaters, electric heaters and stuff. And, you know, I thought about going with a mini split, but, you know, I don't think I need that. You know, I can go with a window AC, and I may have them frame one in rather than using a window. I'll just have them frame in like an 8,000 BTU air conditioner with a heat strip. And the heat strips in those are not 8,000 BTUs. They're like 1,200 or whatever, you know, 1,400 BTU heat strips. But that's all you need. You know, you just you got a small space. I'm not going to have a loft, no loft. It's just going to be, you know, one level, and so I don't have to worry about climbing ladders and all that crap, which is good. So anyway, this is just the tiny home option story, or you know, housing options, or whatever you want to call it, because you know, you got to be realistic. Of course, I'm in the city limits. See, now bear that in mind before you start leaving comments about somebody that had a storage building, moved to their property, and they lived happily ever after. That's wonderful. I'm glad they did, but they were in the county. They're not in the city limits. I am in the city limits by choice. Why? Well, because I can walk to the post office, walk to the grocery store, walk down to the city offices, walk to the library. My health is much better when I'm doing all that walking. Why? I just feel better all over, more than anywhere else. And yeah, if I was out in the country, of course, I could still do my walking. But, and you know, you don't, in town, or in the city limits, in town, I guess you'd call it, you're alone, but you're not lonely, because there's people all around you. You know, I mean, I've lived out in Big Bend on the Terlingua Ranch for a couple of years, and I was lonely. Shit, yeah. Yo, there wasn't anybody out there, man. You know, it's hard to talk to. Well, you can talk to coyotes, and sometimes they'll talk back. But yeah. But having said that, guys, so you homies or whatever you want to call them, yeah, I'm going to do something. You know, I'm going to do something. Maybe. Again, option one, do nothing. And is that possible? With me? Very, very. So, having said that, guys, I'm on the way to Carrizozo right now. I thought I'd go by the Lincoln County clerk's office, or appraisal district, actually. I need to get a copy of a plat, even though they can email it and I can print it out at the library. I want to see what else they've got, because I need to get all the information on that lot that I can get to provide the city with what they need. I've already got the deed that I hand wrote. I know they're going to be impressed with that, but I don't have, and see, what they want you to do is get a surveyor. Okay, they want you to have a surveyor come by, survey the city lot. You give them the dimensions of the home, and they put it on the survey. You know, it's what they call a professional survey. Okay, well, I did an unprofessional survey. I drew it on a sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper to scale, and put my little 10 by 20 home, 24 home in the middle of it, and away we go. Because, you know, realistically, that's all they need. They just want to know, you know, the setbacks, and you got room for parking and all that stuff. But anyway, guys, having said that, on the way to Carrizozo, just burning daylight, this is Rusty78609 saying, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy anything you want anytime. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all of my videos. Why? It doesn't cost you a penny. Just click on the link, go to Amazon, buy whatever you want, drink plenty of water, stretch, walk, and stand guard at the door of your mind. Boy, that is importante. So do it, do it, do it. Enjoy your life. Do something. Do something. Is doing nothing something? Yeah. Adios. Bye.